Well, hello there, friends and family. Glad to see you again. And I thought we'd take a little walkabout and do a little talkabout about the garden. And what we're going to concentrate about today is, we've been having a lot of damage from the deer, browsing everything back, especially our beans. Then they ate our squash, plants back, our tomatoes, basically everything we had that they could get to. So what we're going to look at today is just what happens after your deer come to dinner, and this would be the same for bunnies, or armadillos, or possums, squirrels, or what have you, and see if any of it is starting to recover and coming back. So why don't y'all walk with me and let's see just what we got now. Now, when we looked at this before, it was on June the 15th. I think today is June 19th. Now some of this was browsed back on June the 10th. That all being said, we'll see what we got that is surviving and what didn't make it. So like I said, come on, walk with me. Let's talk about it a little bit, okay? So, as you know, when I talked about deer destruction and decisions, you'll know they got to the south side bed, ate all my okra down and everything. But what I want you to look at right now, when you look right there in that leaf crotch, it may be hard for y'all to see. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, we've zoomed in about as much as this old GoPro will do. But you can see right here. Here, let me get something. Pointer. See right there? You can see leaves starting to form in those leaf crotches on this particular plant. Same is true on this one. But now over on this one, yep, it's got one forming too. Right here. But this one, it didn't have a leaf coming off the central stem. This one's a goner. And you can see right here too. We got leaves forming right here and right here. And the same is true on that one. Now we did lose one there at the end. And I figure this one here is questionable. So, will this okra survive? Oh yeah, it will. So let's go over here and take a look at that tomato plant. And this was that Parks Whopper volunteer that I was so proud of. That I found didn't kill by stepping on it. You can see right here a leaf coming out of that leaf crotch. The same is true if we get under here, right there. And then there's another one up here in the top. So that's going to branch out into 3 different separate stems, which actually deer did me a favor. Instead of being one central stem, now it's going to be 3. So that's just fine. Now, our zucchini over here, our one lonely squash plant that was browsed back by the deer, you can plainly see a new leaf right there, new leaf there. So it looks like indeed this squash plant is going to continue to grow. Now we get over here to the rattlesnake pole beans. And there were 4 different plants here. One a big planting. It was just 4 seedlings we had. Now this one, first one, didn't make it. Now the second one that they ate all the leaves off of, well, except this one, you can plainly see a new leaf here and new leaves down there. The same is true right here. Right here you can see leaves starting to form, a new growth right here in these browse back leaf crotches. And then look over here at this fourth one. I think it's pretty easy to tell. New growth there, new growth here, and eventually they'll start a new bean vine, since these are pole beans. Now you can plainly see when it was vining and was going up stalk, they ate it off. But these are going to continue to grow. New vines will form, and that bean will be just fine. And that's why I wanted to tell you about all this. If you get deer in your garden, or bunny, or possum, armadillo, squirrel, what have you, wild hog, we have them here in Alabama, and they munch them down, as long as they don't munch them down, there's nothing but single stem coming out of the ground, they will come back and continue to grow. But now what you're going to need to do is you're going to keep the water to them, and you're going to need to hit them with some nitrogen fertilizer. Yep. Now that can be organic, compost, chicken manure, rabbit manure, cow manure, horse manure, sheep manure, goat manure, just whatever you want. Or you can hit them with some synthetic fertilizer. And that's going to help them ramp up that new growth. Now what I did here was I hit them all with some synthetic fertilizer with micronutrients. It was a water soluble fertilizer. And that. And I'm not sure that was totally necessary, but I can tell you this. It will speed the process up. So, this is all coming back. Of course, Mr. Old Tom's going to have to put some netting around it. And hopefully that's on its way from Amazon. But I have been keeping the water to it. And looks like it's going to come back. Now, the whole point is, yeah, it was set way back. That's unfortunate. But at least it's not dead. And we're not back at ground zero. Now, that's the point I wanted to make. When this happens to you, and you go out to your garden and property and see such things as your deers ate all your nice beautiful bean plant leaves off, and that, squash, tomatoes, beets, what have you. See, my deer, they love all that stuff. They eat every last bit of it. And they just love Mr. Tom's veggies. I guess they think, oh, Mr. Tom's growing them just for them. Well, not so much. And it's not like I'm dependent on what I'm growing here, but I sure would enjoy it fresh if they'd leave it alone. But we're taking care of that situation. Now what we're going to show you is another area. Let me bring you over here. Now we're over at the rattlesnake pole beans on the northeast corner of the house. And you can still see here the remnants of what the deer ate off. They ate all the leaves off all these bean plants. Now the ones that were already climbing up the vines, they left little tiny leaves. But down here at the base of them, where they were all finally filled all out with nice leaves, they ate every last one of them. See? You can see right there. They ate it off. But they didn't go past the two leaf crotches. One there, one there. So you can see new growth here and there. And what's happened is, because they didn't eat it all down below the first or second leaf crotch, these two have regrown leaves and are recovering. Yep, sure are. Yeah, our little popcorn plant in the pot, still looking okay. But let's go over here to the cucumbers, because you know they ate the leaves off all these, but the one they damaged the most was right here at the end. And they ate these down, because you can see it right there, right there, the center stem. But they left one leaf right here. The same was true on this second one over here. They ate it down. There was nothing left but center stalk too. But as long as they left one leaf and the crotch was still there, you can see clearly new growth. In fact, there's the first leaf, there's the second leaf. Look at this one. First leaf, second leaf, third leaf. It's coming back. And then just look at all the growth in these cucumbers. Yep. In fact, right now, it would be hard to tell that the deer even browse these back. But if you look in there closely, you can still see the remnants of it. Of course, I hate to say we're looking through the netting, but that's just the way of it here. Have to protect them from the deer. Cleo, you come walk about with Papa? You did. Yep, you my baby. You gonna be with Papa. Where's Magoo? He asleep somewhere, being lazy. But you gonna be with Papa, huh? Yes, you are. You love me and I love you. Where's your baby? So another thing I want to talk about while we're talking about these cucumbers is, and we're going to go around here back behind the netting so y'all can see better. Maybe this old man won't fall down and break nothing. We're going to get under here. But you're going to see right here. See how that cucumber there, that little tiny one, is looking all starting to get real dark brown and yellow. And there's another one right over here, right there, another one right there. Well, when you see that happening, folks, what happened there is those didn't pollinate, and they're not going to produce cucumber. Nope. What they're going to do, they're basically dead now, and they're just going to fall off. Yep, just like that. In fact, now I just barely touch them, come right off. They didn't pollinate, and that's something you should all be very concerned about. And I've been concerned the last several years. Haven't seen a lot of bee activity around the place, and that's been a big concern of mine. I haven't seen a honeybee in Lord 10 years or more, and I've been depending on my bumblebees, which, you know, officially they're called carpenter bees, and they burrow and make their homes in wood. Let me get out of here so I don't fall down. Cleo, you're supposed to clean up before we go on video. Okay? I told you we were going to do a video, put your makeup on, clean up and everything. You didn't listen to me, did you? Okay. So, as you can see, all that's coming back. The okra, tomatoes, the zucchini, and the cucumbers. Let's take a look at these beautiful volunteer tomatoes we took out of that worm box. I'm going to tell you what, those aren't some really nice looking young tomato plants. I don't know what is. And I finally found a place where I'm going to put them in. And I'll share that with you once we get them put in. Probably going to be tomorrow. But we're going to head on up here to the old clothesline planting. Take a look at it. It's got a few things going on. Yep, you heard it. That's the motion detector light and strobe light that I bought last year to help deter the deer. Ain't worked, but I'm trying it again. That's rather annoying, ain't it? So for those of all y'all who suggested get an audible alarm, well, been there, done that. And that thing will go off like that for, a couple more minutes. But, you can see, Kentucky won the pole beans. They're looking fine. But let me show you something else. If I can find it. Right there. Look at that. Little bit young beans forming. Ooh, more blossoms. More right there. Right here. It's all in through here. So we making some beans. Yes, we are. And by looking at these vines, which went all the way up top of these 6-foot poles, and now streaming down, oh, those bean vines gotta be approaching 12 foot or more. We'll see if they get all the way down to the ground. Now, without setting this alarm off again, you see right down there? See that nice big Beefmaster tomato? Yep. We got one. And there's several more small ones in there. There's one right there. Yep. Well, we did it again. Set off the alarm. Now, putting those up in different areas sort of makes it rather annoying, as you might suspect. But we're going to go over here, take a look at our Walton butternuts through our deer fence. And you can see there, they're starting to vine and spread. And that. And we got to water these boogers tonight before we go in. Because here again now, it's been 9 days without a single drop of rain here at deep South Bama. Not none. And we still haven't planted out the middle. But those tomato plants that y'all saw over there in the containers, they're going in here. Well, at least some of them. Let's go on in here and take a look at the beans, because something happened. Not last night, but night before last. You have to go back and look at a previous garden walkabout and that video I did on the deer I think it's back on the 15th. They browsed down half of these burpee bush garden green beans. And they browsed them down to about halfway up the row. But this part of the row was left untouched. But what they did was they climbed on top of this pile of old landscape timbers and actually got in here and ate down the other half of the row. But you can see all kinds of blossoms starting to form. They're everywhere. And you can see a lot of new leaves popping up. They're pretty much everywhere, new leaves. So are these going to survive? Look at that, all those new leaves. Yep, they're gonna. Just keep them watered. We already put the fertilizer to them. Look at all those blossoms. About to pop open. So we're going to get some beans. And yes, here again, did it set this all back? Sure it did. Set it all back by probably 2 to 3 weeks. But that don't mean we ain't going to make nothing. And look how pretty those bean blossoms are. Simply beautiful. Now the okra that they didn't touch, starting to do fine. Bug pressure sort of let off some. And it's continuing to grow and reach up to the sky. What do you think, Cleo? Looks like everything will survive. Now, we put another one of those sensors right here. Now, for whatever reason, it's not working. We'll have to check into that later and reprogram it. But rather than fence this off, I decided to stick this here and see if that annoying 110 dB audio alarm would scare deer off. I don't have a lot of faith in it since it hasn't worked before. Right, Cleo? Come on, Cleo. So all this is coming back. Now I did take the weed eater in here and chop all these weeds down to ground level in anticipation of laying down the cardboard tomorrow and mulching this all off to get it ready to plant. Of course, once I get it all planted out, I'll bring y'all along and show you what we did. The old raised bed, as y'all know, we collected all of our radish seed. Of course, we pulled up all those radish plants. They were far done and got that cleared out. Still got to clear out these carrots. Our green onions are looking fine. So is the Greek oregano and thyme. We got to be thinking about what we're going to be planting in here for the remainder of summer and the fall. And just look here. Those 3 or 4 sprigs of Greek oregano that I trimmed off of what we had growing over there and stuck them in this pot. And this oregano is really doing nicely, spreading out. So this has become a big old pot of Greek oregano. But look at those radishes. Yep. And those are all radishes from seed that I harvested from the radishes. I had planted all over there on that south side of this old raised bed. So that was my seed. Didn't cost me nothing. Of course, garlic chives, they're just doing what they do. Right, Cleo? You my baby. You my little garden lady. don't even have to call you. As soon as I crack out of the house, she's with me. So the whole point of this video is, if you have deer, bunnies, armadillos, squirrels, possums, what have you, come in your garden and munch it all down, as long as they don't take it all the way down to ground level, you'll be just fine. And we were over here earlier working, and you can see those 4 pepper plants sitting over here that we bought at Soup Foods. And I went ahead and used that bag of Miracle Grow moisture control pot mix that my son picked up for me several weeks back to top this here truck tire planter off. And once I finish up this video and that and put y'all up inside, I'm going to go ahead and get those 4 pepper plants stuck in this tire planter and get them all watered in. I've already amended the soil with some bone meal. That'll take care of the nitrogen and phosphorus needs. The only thing it doesn't address is the potash or potassium. But I've just learned when you transplant plants, as long as you got adequate nitrogen and phosphorus, they take right on off. And this here bone meal, it's nice and slow and easy on them. It won't burn them. And we still got plenty of lettuce, which, by the way, we're going to be coming out and grabbing some of it again, because I've got to make me something for dinner. And I'm going to be making an old Pennsylvania Dutch recipe that goes all the way back to my childhood. And I'm thinking about sharing that with y'all. But I was in here earlier working on my little tomato experiment, you know, where I got the 2 Atkinson over here, which are heirloom indeterminates that were bred and raised for Deep South over at Auburn University a long time ago. Going here against it, you just look at these Beefmaster hybrids. Oh my God, they're nearly 3 times as high. But let's take a look at these Atkinson. Now this one here, the first one, it's had some issues with different diseases that we've been treating, mostly with a copper fungicide. And it's still surviving, starting to look okay. But this second one over here, it's just doing much better. Look up in there. There's 4 tomatoes there. Another 2 nice ones, 3 nice ones. There's the 4th one, 5th one. There's another 3. Now this one has got what? Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 tomatoes on it already that I can see. And I may have missed a few. Now, that's way more than what my Beefmasters have. But look down there. Look at how much larger that one is compared to the ones on the Atkinson. Yep, there's another one snuck up right in there. You see that? And there's more. There's another one right there. So there's tomatoes coming on these Beefmasters too. Now, oh, look at this. I found another one. Right there. Now I'm sure there's more, but the foliage is rather dense and that. And this started to have some disease, but I hit it with that copper fungicide. And tomorrow evening, I'll hit it again. So that's another thing. I don't know where you are and how the cycles of disease and fungus borne diseases are in your area, but here in Deep South, it's not that we get one cycle, we get multiple. Why? Because of the high humidity. Yep. Even if we don't get the rain, we have high humidity. Oh, there's Magoo. Magoo, are you cultivating for the tomato? Is that what you're doing? Magoo, or are you going to be fertilizing? No, you're just cultivating, huh? You've seen Papa do it, so you were doing it too. You're such a good garden buddy. I knew once you heard me out here talking to the people, you'd come by, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. And here you are. Yep, always helping Papa. You and Cleo. Where's Elrod? Here again. Haven't seen him for a day or so. Hope he's okay. But I think it's fairly easy to see these Beefmaster hybrids, as far as growth, foliage, are outdistancing the Atkinsons. Now, oh, look at there. We got the baby kitty. Can you see her up by the hedgerow? Well, I hate to show you to her why she's you know, doing her business, but you take advantage of what you can get. I don't know why I call her she. Maybe a he for all I know. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Now I don't know how close we can get to her. Kitty, kitty, kitty. She ain't gonna let us get too close. Nope. But she's looking good. Kitty, kitty, kitty. At least she's out from under the cars. And Magoo, he's gonna head on up there and probably give her some kisses. Let's see. Kitty, 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 kitty. Well, we're about 12 feet away. Let's see how close we can get to her. She's scoping us out. Got Cleo here at my feet. I don't think she's gonna let us get too close. Maybe she will. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Nope, she's not. She's gonna run on off. Cleo, why don't you bring your baby around to be with Papa? Why don't you? Tell her I love her like I love you too. You and old Magoo. Yep. Magoo. Sorry, bud. I know you're doing your business too. So y'all, that's basically all I wanted to show you. Just a little garden update, a little walkabout and talk about, and show you, indeed, if deer, bunnies, or what have you, come on to your place and browse your stuff back down to nothing but nubs, as long as they don't take it down to a single stem, things will come back and survive, as you can see. And that's important. Yes, we'll set you back 2 to 3 weeks. And if you're living up in Northeast, Upper Midwest, Northern Plains, that may do you in. But here in Deep South, oh, we got plenty of time. Our growing season, we won't see a frost till mid to late December. So I got plenty of time for all that to come back. Let's sit down a minute and chit chat and wrap this up for today. So y'all, there you have it. That's pretty much our walkabout and talk about and garden update for today. Hope you learned something. Hope you know when you see damage from deer, bunnies, or what have you in your garden, take a close look at it. Make sure it's just not down to a single stem. And if it's not, it will bounce back. Just takes time. Just keep it watered, keep it fed like normal. I would suggest increasing your nitrogen, but be careful, too much can kill it. And you'll have new growth sprout in those leaf crotches, and everything will come back. You'll never know the difference. In fact, like that tomato, which was a single stem, now because of deer, it's going to have 3 stems coming up. Now here in the South, that's just fine. We don't do single stem in the South because the sun will cook our tomatoes. Nope. We have to have a little more foliage to keep the fruit, i.e. the tomatoes, from getting what's called sun scald. So the bushier the better. Of course, everything has its limit. Now, I do hope this all finds y'all well and happy and healthy in your homes with your families. I do hope you're praying for all essential workers and those who have to, as well as those who have special needs in our community. And if you'll take time to read through the comments, there are several of them that share with us their prayer needs, and I hope you'll add them to your prayer list too. Because when I'm reading those comments, I'm writing names down. It can be the viewer, it can be the sister, their brother, their husband, uncle, it doesn't matter. They put a name down, I write down. Even if they don't, I put what relationship. Because you know what, I truly believe God can figure it out. And there's a great power in prayer. So, till I see y'all on the next video, y'all take care out there. Stay safe. Do what you feel is right to protect yourselves. That's all I'm going to say. Because in America, you have the freedom to do that. The Lord knows there's a few from my last video that felt like, you know, old Mr. Tom was just being a political puppet or a mindless dummy by wearing a mask out in public. What they forgot about was that freedom part, the freedom to choose. I chose to wear the mask. I chose to wear gloves. I chose to have hand sanitizer and wipes. I chose all that because there is no mandatory rules here in my town or in my state. I'm not sure what's wrong with people. They forget about that freedom part of America. And that's what's made America not as great as it once was. We forget about freedom. So, I want to leave y'all with this. May God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. Because I know He will. For I've experienced it. Goodbye for now. Magoo, you tuckered out, buddy. Worked you too hard again today. What about you, Cleo? You plumb tuckered too? Yep. Well, it's getting on now, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We've been going at it since about 5:30 this morning. So I can feel for you. Now I know y'all been with me all day long, ain't you? Yep. Now we did take a little lunch break. Well, let me go in and see what Trix has to say. Yep. I haven't been in to see Trix in about 4 or 5 hours. You know she's not gonna be happy. Right, Cleo? I know you don't care, baby. But we gotta do it. I'll be back out in a bit to give you the evening chow. Hey, see if you can go round up Elrod before we do evening meal, okay? You hear me, Magoo? See if you can find your buddy Elrod. You know, I get worried about him after a day, even though I know he normally shows up next morning. What, Trix? Well, you could come out and work with all of us too. You decide not to. You're just being a curmudgeon. Why are you that way? You're just not going to come out of your fortress, the house, right? You used to come out with Papa all the time. Are you going to come out and help your Papa? You're not. Well, I gotta do things outside. No, it's not food time either. You got plenty of food over there. You got some fabulous 9 lives and plenty of water and that fine feed bowl setup that Rick and Lulu gave you. Yep. Well, I'll feed you in another hour or so. I don't care. You can just be on me all you want. You gonna say goodbye to the people? God, you're such a bingo. Yep. You're just shacker lacquer, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Later, all.